Art students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again out of hiding. So today we got a special one, and it's entitled Drawing from Your Imagination When You Can't Imagine It. Now, I know a lot of artists out there want to do comics and want to do like things like fantasy worlds and different things that they really can't see in their head. So how can you draw it if you can't see it? So I want to give you some points on how to draw stuff that you can't really imagine because you've never seen it or you don't know what it looks like, which is the same thing. So, and I decided to do a part two. Now I'm doing the intro after the video, and I looked at the video and I said I missed a couple things, so I'm going to do a part two to get deeper into it. But so this is going to be part one of a two-part series, drawing from your imagination, because everybody doesn't have access to, get the internet to see pictures and download references and so forth and so on. So I'm just trying to help you guys figure out how would you draw something that you have no idea what it looks like or what it would be. So let's get on with the video, because I love to ramble. So drawing tables over there. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's just do it. All right, welcome back, art students. Today I want to try to do something a little different, and here we go. So I thought about this as I was editing my last video, which is being uploaded right now, about drawing. A lot of people say that they can't draw, but I believe everybody can draw. So this one I'm going to do a intro on this one, which I haven't been doing intros lately, and I don't know what I'm going to say, but I haven't done it yet. I always do the intros last, but this one I'm going to call Drawing from the Imagination When You Can't Imagine It. Give or take, because it's easy to draw something when you can see it, but a lot of things you can't see because you don't have it or there's no way to see it. For instance, I can't do a nuclear submarine, the controls to it, because I have no idea what that looks like. But breaking everything down, everything is a shape. Everything is a shape. And people say, oh, it's hard to draw shapes. If you are writing something, I don't care what language it is, every letter makes a shape. And since I only can do like English, maybe a few Korean letters or Japanese letters, but they're all shapes. And this is something I teach on my kids' channel. Some people have trouble drawing, just a square box. But you're making these letters every day, and these things are, each one of them is just a square. Oh, well, give me another one. Here we go, like that. Was just part of a square. Just do this. Here's my E. Here's the other side to my H. Bring this down, erase that, bring that down, bring that. Here's my L. Here's this I, here's that, and here's just side to. So you're drawing shapes every day. So everything you look at is a shape. Everything you look at is a shape. Now you take a shape and you stack it on top of another shape and stack that on top of another shape and refine that just a little bit, and then you are able to draw anything, basically anything, especially organic. Let's look at this. This is a phone holder. This is what? This is the letter what? The letter C right here. And then, and I just saw this. It's just sitting right here on Junkie Desk. And this is what? This is a triangle. Or if I turn this upside down, it's a letter what? It's a V, okay? It's just, or it could be a D or B, or if I put the thing here, it's the letter D. So it's just the C. This is just it. The letter C. And there's a little triangle here, and these little 2 feet. Come on, camera, don't play with me. And these little 2 things, right, they go right there. That's all you have. It's just shapes. So people, they want to run away from doing shapes, but you need to take at least a week to just sit there and draw your shapes over and over and over again, especially when it comes to the body. The body is just basically an oval, circles, and cylinders. And cylinders are probably the most important things that you can draw, because you're going to run into a whole lot in drawing. Where's the book? Now, I showed you the book in the last video, provided you saw the last video. It's the 360 book. Now, I have other drawing books, but this one just happens to be right here, and I have to dig for my other books. It's just, when you look at the body, the arms, the legs, they're cylinders. They're cylinders. So you just have to know where the cylinders go or how they are positioned. For instance, I want to look at something. I don't know what. Just say a box. Okay, let's go right back to basics. I'm going to look at a box. Here's a box. Oh, there's a square. It's not a box until you see another side of it. So here's a box. Now, for me to see this box, I can't see the top, I can't see the bottom. So I'm looking straight at it from this part here. If I want to move my eye over to here a little bit, so I would start to see a little bit of the side. Simple way to do that is just bring that line out just a little bit more. You now have the side of the box. If I want to look at it, see a little more from the top, from here, I will take my eye a little further down, and then you will see some of the top and the side. So it's just manipulating these shapes. If I want to draw a person, and we're getting deep into this now, I don't know how long this video is going to be because it's not a scripted video. If I want to draw a person, all I'm doing is taking each shape and I'm putting it on top of another shape, 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 on top of another shape. So it's just, how do you see these shapes? The same way you looked at this box, how are you going to see this cylinder? If I look at a cylinder straight on, it's going to be basically a rectangle. The only way it becomes a cylinder is if I start to look at it more from the top or more from the bottom, or if I can see the opening either at the top or the bottom. So it's going to be rounded off. Now I have a cylinder. So if I round that off more, it's going to be a cylinder. Just like this arm. And I go over cylinders a whole lot in my videos because this is very important. The arms are cylinders. I've got so many pins. Look at my last video and see the junky deaths that I have. It's no better today. And this is just a circle, just a circle. We draw circles every day. We draw the O, we draw the D, we draw the B. What else is a circle? We draw the Q, the G. You know, so don't say you cannot draw. You can draw. First of all, don't say you can't do something, because when you say that, you program your mind. Somebody asked that he enjoyed my words of wisdom, so I told him I would give a little more wisdom as I go. But if you program your mind, you will never be able to do anything. Let's just say you take a child and you, when he's young, you call him stupid. You stupid, you ugly. You'll never become anything. You think this person is going to overcome from years and years of that programming? So if you're saying to yourself, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it, when it's time for you to step up to bat, your brain will say, what are you doing? You know you can't do that. You can't do that. And so you fail. So don't say I can't do or it's hard. Say, what was the word I had for hard? Hard. It's difficult. It's a little difficult today, but tomorrow I'll get it because I'll continue to practice doing my stuff. So let's just do this again. Let's do this. So as I say, when you have a cylinder, which is just two L's, okay, here's two small L's. Here's a capital L. Here's a 7, number 7. 7 going straight down, not going at an angle, all right? Cylinder, right there, simple. Do, you know, a circle. Here's a 0, circle. So, and I said this is not scripted, so I'm going to be all over the place. Here's my 0 turned to the side. Here's my L. Which way does the L go? L goes this way. Let's erase this one. Can't erase it. Here's my 0. Here's my L connected to that, and then here's my small L, capital L, small L. Did you get that? Let's do that again. If you have to turn your paper over, turn your paper over. Here's my 0. Here's a 0. I'm doing a 0. 100. 0, 0, 0. Turn my paper over. Since I have no room, I'm going to turn it upside down. Capital L. Right there. Boom. And then you do your small L or a large I. A large I. Yeah, a large letter I. And then just circle this out. Depending on how much circle you have here, you need that same amount of circle at the bottom. That's all. And it's just like doing a U, the letter U. Here's the letter U. If you kind of stretch that U out, it'll be like this. We all can do a smiley face. Who can't do a smiley face? Just think about it like that. Where was I? I was going to do this, and I hope I didn't mess up my thing. Let's get rid of some of these papers. All right, so cylinder. Where's my example? Cylinder. See it like this? It is a rectangle. When you start to see rectangle, yeah, rectangle. It's just a square rectangle like this. when you start to see the opening, it becomes a cylinder. Whether you see the top of the opening or the bottom of the opening, it becomes a cylinder. So your legs are cylinders and your arms are cylinders. How much of that are you going to see, or where are you going to see that leg and that arm? If you're going to see that leg or that leg coming at you, then you're going to see an opening. It's going to narrow out. This is long. The closer it gets to you, the more points to you, the thinner, the shorter it's going to get, and the more opening this will become. So let's just say this guy is taking a step forward. So taking a step forward, you have to think about it. If you cannot see it, and this was the big point. If you cannot see it mentally, then you have to, that's just changing what I'm saying. You have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Know exactly how it works. You know, if somebody's walking, this is the body, this is the head. One leg is going to go up or out, one leg is going to go back. I mean, that's just automatic because you see that all the time. But mentally, if you can't see that, you have to go for what you know, basically what you know. So now if somebody's running, it's going to be the same thing, but you say, okay, he can't run like this. He's got to lean over because you're moving faster. So the more that you lean over, the faster that person is going to go. So what is the word that I'm trying to think of? And it's not, yeah, I can't think of the word. It'll come later, or I'll put it down here if I can think of it. So that's what you're going to have to do. If you cannot see it mentally, you have to think about how it would actually physically go. You know, if a glass breaks, it's not going to hit the ground and just stay there. It's going to break. It's going to fall apart, and you're going to have pieces shattering. So how would you do that? That's the part if you can't see it mentally, you have to, I don't want to say imagine it. You're just going to have to use, not science, figure the word out. So as I said, I'm going to be all over the place. So this leg is not down. This leg, he's walking. One leg is walking. So instead of it being down, it's going to come up. You know that. You know when you take a step, your leg's not going to be straight down. So it's going to come up. So what does the cylinder look like when it comes up? I'm showing you now. It's going to be shorter, and you're going to see some opening. You know there are two parts of the leg. You have your upper thigh, your knee, and then you're going to have your other part of your leg, which is your, whatever that leg is. The more I talk, you did not see that. The more I talk, the faster I talk, the more I lose it because my brain is always 2 sentences ahead. You have two parts of your leg. You have your upper thigh, and you have your little knee, which is your knee, and then you have your lower part of your leg. So you know you have two, and if you want to step, then this part is going to come up. This part is going to bend forward. Can't see it, you gotta realize how it really is. So this is going to come up a little bit. Depending on how high you want this leg to come up, it's going to come up. So I draw the back circle. I tell people, draw on the cylinder, draw the back circle, then draw the front circle, and then connect the two. Erase the part that you would not see. So let's just say this is my back circle, this is my front circle. Connect them right there. So the other one is going to go down. It's back circle, front circle, like that. He is now taking a step by putting a shape on top of a shape. If he's going to go, this leg is going to go out. Here's my cylinder. And it's going to go back. It can't go forward because it just doesn't work that way. Like that. And it becomes simple. And then later on, you can shape it up. But just do this form first. If you really can't draw and you don't understand the muscles, do these over and over and over and over, and then you start to slim out some of the muscles. Go back and look at some of my videos, shameless plug, and then you'll see how to draw muscles. But a lot of people want to get in there and they want to draw, oh, this muscle, it goes like, and you don't know how the muscle goes, you know. So how would you know, what it looks like when it's flexed if you don't really know the muscle? Don't get in there and try to draw something, especially when you really don't understand where they go and how they work and how they look when they're going through some kind of range of motion. Stop trying to be so proud and like, oh, my muscles are just, because when I started, I did not know that this part of the chest or this part of the shoulder actually moved. I just did like this would be his shoulder and his arm would be going up like that, which is just completely wrong. And the delt was like way down below the chest. So you gotta learn, and you gotta learn about shapes. Once you master your shapes, it's easy to put this kind of thing together than as I say, to if you're putting clothes on a person, you don't need to see the chest and, you know, the striations and he's all ripped and, you know, the six-pack ab, because I'm gonna put a shirt on this guy. This guy's like jogging. He's just jogging. He's at the park somewhere. What I need to show his muscles for is he's running. Get a better pen. Mess up your whole thing. Look at the other video and see all this junk I have on my desk. And you'll say, Brian, why do you live like that? I guess because I do. Good writing pen. Yeah, there you go. This is a good pen. Now I have good pens, you know, in with the old bad pens. So this arm will be coming up anyway. So anyway, that example. So what I'm showing you is, why would I need muscles if I'm if I'm covering them up? If I'm covering them up. So another point. Learn your shapes. Learn your shapes first, and then what would be good if you have this. Now I have this, for example, and I have my camera zoomed in a whole lot, and this is for the kids channel that I'm doing now. Kids Are Artists. Another shameless plug, where I show you, or show whoever looks at it. You have your arm. You have two parts of your arm. You have like your bicep, tricep, and you have your forearm. Put them together. This is straight down. Bend it like you bend at the elbow, but if you want to turn it in, it looks like this. If you want to put that arm all the way up, it looks like this. So just by using these shapes, these cylinders, or just basically shapes, it's easier for you to see and understand. You don't have to be able to see it in your imagination, put it that way. You will know instantly that, okay, this thing is shaped like this, and this thing is shaped like that. So when you turn this shape over, it's going to look like that. So when what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, let's say torso, because somebody asked me to do the torso from the front and the back and so forth, and I'm working on that. But I was going to do that, but this idea came up. Like, here's my torso from the front, collarbone, and you'll understand everything later by just doing it over and over. So if I'm tilting it forward, still going to have that shape. It's not going to be as long, because the same way this, if I'm tilting this forward, it's not going to be as long. So, and this collarbone is going to become the letter V. Here's my center line. Is that just like if I tilt it back, because of the roundness of it, you won't see that collarbone. You'll see more of under the stomach, and that's going to go higher because you're going to see more of it there. And when it comes down, you're going to see less of it. So it's just seeing the shapes, or knowing the shapes, how to draw the shapes, and then from drawing it over and over and over, then you'll be able to basically draw anything. Box, again, which is what all drawing books use, because it's easy to draw a square. A lot of people couldn't do that, but they don't show you the whole letter. Where's the thing? The letter. Using the letters, something that we do every day. Well, this was the E, I guess. This was the, what was this? What was this? I don't know. This was the I. I think this was a 8. No, L. What are these? I don't even know anymore. Or did I have it like this? So that was the E. This was the F. One of this is the H, and this was the I here. This is an L. So you draw these letters every day. We do these letters every day if you write English anyway. So it's easy to draw a square. Just think about E. E is, or just a E. I guess E is the closest one. Leave out the middle if you have to. So you draw this box. You know, if you look at it from the top, there's going to be some room at the top. If you look at it from the bottom, if you see any part of the top of it, you're going to see the top. If you look at it from the bottom, you're going to see some of the bottom like that. Now, to do anything like this, to do any box, going back in perspective, you're going to use the letter V. That's it. You're going to use the letter V. Okay? Flip that over. Give it a bottom. There's a triangle. We're going to use that V. Now, if you look at the top of this box, this is what I just did. Let's say here's my center. Let's just do my center, just to make it easy for me and you. Here's my center. So I'll take this back, And I'll take this back. And you have that V or that triangle. Turn it upside down. There's that V. There's that triangle. So all you have to do is just cut it off where you want it to end. You could do again, in the drawing books, they use this as a road, but they don't really tell you, oh, you're just drawing a big long triangle. In the center line, you can have your little lines for your thing. Cut it off. Where do you want to cut it off? I want to cut it off right here. Let's just say this is a mountain and this is going in a tunnel. Like that. Now I'm starting to draw a picture. Okay, now I want to do a car. Here's a car. Cars are basically what? Rectangle. You may have a little square on top. And if it's your first time drawing, this is what you do. You have a circle here, and you have a circle here. That's me looking at this square on top of a square with two circles. I'm looking at it right this way. Again, if I want to look at it if I want to see some of the top, I will add a little top to this. I will add a little right here, and it's all going back in that triangle. Draw that a little better. We have this, 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 we have this, here, and then you'll see some of the car, the top of the car. Like that. And it's basically going back in a triangle. So if I'm doing this car here, I want to see the front, but I want to see, because I'm looking down at the road, I want to do this, and I'm going to draw that triangle going back. Going back. This is crooked because I'm rushing, which is fine. As that triangle. So I'm going to chop that triangle off here. No eraser. And then I'm going to put that extra square up here again. Well, that square just like the front. There's a square here. Use your pen. Got too many lines. Pen here. And I'm going to draw that triangle going back. Chop it off. That's the roof. Hood. No, this is the hood. That's the roof of the car. Yeah, it's a strange looking car, but I'm just showing you guys how to start seeing things with shapes. Now, if I wanted to put like the grill, which is another square, some headlights, I could use square headlights. You really won't see the tires. If I do another one going back, it's the same thing. Here's the back of the car. He's going into the tunnel. Here's my V. Cut it off here. Here's my back windshield. There's my V. Cut it off there. Here's my tail lights. So now you're drawing pictures by just using shapes. It's extremely simple, but people want to stress over detail. If I'm drawing a character, a person, and if you've seen my channel, you see the way that I always do people, and I have no idea what kind of position. If I'm not thinking about what's happening, it's hard for me to draw positions. So I'm just going to throw something up there. I'll do the circle or the oval. This is basically just this right here. The house, get my direction. I don't know, he's going to be tilted back. Okay, so this is a triangle here, or V, and it's going to go up. I call it the upside down house because we all draw houses when we're children. And that's all it is. If you flip it over, it could be the home plate, or you can just do this rectangle, which is your hips, and then it's your crotch. You put that triangle on top of that, or under the bottom, depending on how it's turned. Here, here's a circle here for this. Here's a circle here for this. Delt, which is the arm. This is a third part of the arm. Your delt, which goes into the chest. So this is the delt. This is your bicep, tricep, and this is your forearm. And your delt actually cuts across the chest like that. Bicep, tricep, forearm. Right here. There's a little triangle right here, but that's when you get, that's later in life. So this is your delts. So if you're new to the channel, this circle here is your delt. So I'll put a cylinder right here, same way I did the other one. And I'll put a cylinder right here. And remember, it's a cylinder when you see the circle. I'll put a cylinder right here. I'll put a cylinder right here. For this, I will do cylinder, like basically cylinder here, and it's just so simple. So that's why I say the cylinder is kind of like one of the most important things to do. Cylinder right here, and of course I'm so used to drawing. I'll kind of curve mine, and it just comes out that way. I'll straighten it out in a minute. Here's a circle right here, an oval. Let's just say he's looking this way. He's like doing his little dance. He's like, wait, they're looking at me. I don't care. I'm going to do my dance. The hand, I usually do like a square. And then wherever the thumb is, inside or out, I'll just do this little piece here, like drawing like a banana, like that for the thumb. And then, you know, you have your 5 fingers. You can split it off. Just say one. A lot of times I'll do that. 1 finger with a line, just a line like that. And then come back like do this. And I'll get the actual position of the fingers that I want, because if you try to draw a hand and you draw your fingers and you say, oh, that's not right, you have to erase and then try it again. Oh, that's not right. So I will just draw the palm or the square and then just put the fingers how I like it. And if that looks good, then I'll come back and then I will add a second line to it like that. And that will be my hand. The thumb, as I say, just do that little banana piece like that, and then you have the makings of a hand. Simple when you know how. This camera is really zoomed in. I don't think I've ever really zoomed it in that much. This camera, it zooms to a point and it actually cuts, and then it'll zoom to another point. It's like I've reached my limit, but I'm gonna give you some more. So once it gets to that cut point, if you go any further, it will actually start to blur. But if I don't zoom in too much, then you'll see just a little piece of paper and all this extra room. So yeah, so if I did this, I'll do something like this. Then here's my second finger, here's my third finger, and here's my 4th finger on my hand. And then here's my thumb right there, the palm. So that's just a finger thing. All right, so here's my other hand. However I want my fingers, like that. Won't see that thumb. Or unless I put the thumb out like that. Here's my foot. Your feet are just represented as like a triangle. Here's your V. Here's your V. Okay, here's your V. Just make it flat like this. Take it and split it in the middle and then chop it off at the back like that. So if you do a whole triangle, widen it, split it in half, you have this. This is for in the beginning. You have that side of the foot, and you can have that the knees bent, and it's coming to you. You have 2 openings. But the thing is, with the leg, you're going to put that knee right here, represented with a circle, so you're not going to see those openings. And the same thing with the elbow. You're going to put that circle right here in the beginning. So this would be like this, and this would be like that. And this little piece left over would be the elbow. Now, if you're dressing them, doesn't make a difference. If you're short sleeve shirt or something, then you have to kind of get that little elbow in there. Again, cylinder. Remember, one's going to be open, the other's going to be open as well. And then this is the back, so you won't see inside of that. Simple. That's how I draw. Anytime I draw, I always start out drawing like this. Let me take a quick peek at a position and just kind of like see. In my book, I have my book right here, which one I want to draw real quick. So, cylinder. I'm tilting that cylinder. Here's the head right here. Here's the delt again. Here's the other delt. This is going to be my center line. This is going to be this part right here. If you didn't see that. Right here, that's going to be this. Here's my upside down house. You won't see too much of that. Here's going to be one leg. Well, one leg is going to come this way. Let's just bring that leg up more. Almost to where it's pointing right at you. And then that leg is going to come down. However, I'm trying to keep this balance. I'm just trying to do. And this leg is going to go back. So with this arm. Put the fist here. Usually if I'm drawing a bent arm, I'll do the hand. I'll place the hand and I'll connect everything else to that. It's just, for me, it's a little easier. Like that. And let's just say this one's just going to be up just because it's going to be up. And here is my half a triangle from the front. And here's the one in the back. So anytime I draw, I do that, but then I fairly know enough about the muscles to put the muscles in there. So oval, oval, and he's tilted. So this line here, this collarbone, I thought I had one that showed you the collarbone more, is going to be tilted this way. So there's my center here, goes down here. This is my waist, my hip, which is this little tuna can, as I called it, because I think I was eating tuna that day. Well, I made some tuna salad. So, and that's the easiest shape for you guys to do, which is just a cylinder going straight down. It's just basically this right here. It's this going halfway down and chopping it off. That's it. You stick that up under this circle here and you put this upside down house on top of it. Then we have that leg. As I said, you have your back circle and you have your front circle, which makes that cylinder look like this, more like this. Whereas the picture is more like this, coming almost at you. Then you would have that other cylinder. Remember, when you take two and you pull them out, you have a circle and a circle. This is why my desk is so junky. You can believe, look at the last video. You see all the junk on my desk. I clean it up, but I put it right back in every video. So you're gonna have this and this. This is gonna go down, and then we're gonna have this here, the foot. This one is gonna go, this one's going back. So I'm gonna see this center opening here, and I won't see that opening there. And this one is coming forward. So I'm going to see this opening. Remember, you're always going to have an opposite opening when you split the two and when you break the two, meaning when you bend your arm or your leg. So I'm not going to see the opening on that one. And then here's my little triangle again. Again, circles for the delts. The delts, circles. This cylinder is going to be there, which is going to be behind that. You can see the opening here. I'm not going to put the hand to just make it easier for you. Opening here. We'll see the opening there. This is behind that, but you will see, you do know when you break them, you're going to see both openings here and here. And then you have, you know, quick, now let's put the hands in, just put a fist. So now you have your quick position just by doing this. Do this over and over. Just do these shapes over and over. Then you'll get it. Then come back and look at some of my videos. Shameless plug. And then I show you how to do the muscles. I show you each muscle. I break them down so you can do them, so you can get your you know, your superhero guy or whatever it is you draw. Superhero female. I haven't done a lot of women lately because YouTube new laws. They're tripping. Demonetize. So chest, your abs, your these are called somethings, I forgot what it was called, and your lats are right behind that. Starts with an S, I can't think of it. This goes up right here, and then your arm comes from under that. This comes up into this, like that. I'm doing muscles now. Your biceps and triceps are separated by the V in this. Let me make this a little darker. This comes to a point. And you have your bicep on the front and your tricep in the back, which is the biggest part of your arm. So if you're going to the gym and you want to get big arms, work on your triceps. Don't do curls all day. That just, because this little part right here, look at that muscle, bro. Look at that muscle. This little part is just this little piece here. Let's come on, let's do some anatomy. So this muscle is just about right here. This all this muscle is there, where your tricep is all of this meaty part right there. Let's look at that. Look at that. So yeah, anyway. That's your free anatomy lesson. So for those people that want to get big arms, it's your triceps count. So okay, as I said, imagination. Draw stuff from imagination. Let's do some grounds. Let's do some grounds. Anytime you have a ground, you want to put somebody in the ground. You don't want to float. They don't want to be floating. Here is my land. Here is my land. Come on, camera. You've been doing good so far. Here's my land. Right here, I'm going to Still, let's get rid of this. Here's the ground. Okay, here's the ground. I'm going to stand my character on the ground. This is just like drawing a star or something. Yeah. This is my little shorthand for drawing people. Usually it's just a square like this and like that. That's my shorthand for drawing people. So I want some more people in the back. I want to see more of that. What am I going to do? I'm going to draw that triangle again, the triangle. Now that triangle could start way over here and come in, or it can start right here and go in. It can go off the paper, but just for the sake of it, depends on how much ground you want to see. If you want to see a lot of ground, you take that triangle way, way, way back there. You know, or it doesn't have to come to a point right here. It could go way up here and then come to a point way off screen somewhere, but just for the sake of of doing it, this is how you do, you know, your ground. Now this guy, because the ground is tilted, because the ground is not flat, it's tilted, you will eventually have to tilt your character. And remember what I said about tilting the character? This is not going to be straight. This collarbone is going to come down like this, and that head is going to come down. And that actually tilts your character to fit on that ground. And of course, your cylinders are going to be shorter to make him appear, and I'm trying to talk and draw, appear that you're seeing it from the top, just like you're seeing the ground from the top. Yeah, you're seeing down on the ground. How long is this? This is 42 minutes. Usually I end up doing a 50-something minute video, so I'm not going to go too far. Anytime, yeah, as I say, now if I want to do less ground, I would show less of that opening in a triangle. And if I want to do even less, show less ground, I'll do even less going back. Now, let's say the way you cut these off, it doesn't have to be right here on your paper. It could be off the paper. And you could just do something like this. If this is my paper and I wanted to show some ground, let's just say I would do this and then just this. You know, you don't have to see the fact that it got cut off way over here somewhere. You're just using this part, and then you put your person or people right here. Maybe they're in a room or something. Maybe they're talking in a room, and you just didn't want flat ground, two people standing on flat ground. So you do that and then that. Here's my door right here, which is what shape is that? Here's a window right here. What shape is that? Here's a table right here. What shape is that? Here's my legs for the table. What shape is that? Here's a chair right here. Look at this shape. What shape is that? And then here's this right there. What shape is that? Could you even see that? Because that's so small. I'll do it in pen. Here's my table. That's the letter 0. Here's that. That's just a rectangle. Here's a square window right here. X in there. Window. Doorway. Chair. Chair. Sit down in the chair, man. You look tired. Have a seat, Joe. Here's Joe. Oh, I worked all day today. Man, you wouldn't believe what I had to tell the boss. I had to just chew him out because he is just the little dumbest person in the world. He said, oh my goodness, man, it's just rough. Why don't you quit that job and just work at McDonald's? I work at McDonald's. What are you talking about? Comedy. So yeah. Shapes. It's all shapes. It's all shapes. For those who you didn't see that, let's see if the camera will be nice and zoom in on that. Yeah, so there you go. Work at McDonald's. I love McDonald's, by the way. If you want to sponsor me, McDonald's, you know. One thing about, true story, where'd I go? Me and my daughter, we went out, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I wanted a shake. Every shake machine is busted. I don't know what it is about summertime and shake machines. Y'all need to get rid of those machines. No, I'm sorry, our shake machine is out of order today. I said, go to another. I really wanted a shake. I was fiending for a shake. My daughter just wanted burgers and fries. She didn't care where you get it from. So I ended up having to go to Wendy's and get a shake. Dairy Queen and get a shake. So, true story. That happened last night. I was tired. I was hangry. Wanted my shake. McDonald's got some of the best shakes next to Steak and Shake, depending on what city you live in. But, you know, of course, McDonald's, you all need to just get rid of your shake machine. So anyway, that's enough of my ranting and raving. So again, with this, let's just say you want to do a room. You have this, you cut this triangle off right here. You do your back walls like this. This is your back walls. This is just a rectangle for that back wall. And then I'm going over here. See this here? This is another triangle right here. Cut that triangle off over here. This here. Here's my wall. Here's my triangle right here and right here. Just coming back up. This would be my triangle. But you have to keep this stuff centered. So here's my door. Everything that you draw, we're getting into perspective now. I'm not going to get into that. This is my door here, but it's got to go to that center point. So this line has got to go up here. Because some people will draw a door on the side like this. It can't go like that. It has to go tilted like that. But that's perspective. That's a whole nother story. Anything on the back wall is fine. A door, window, whatever. A big sign. Welcome to the new McDonald's where all our shake machines work 24/7. Let's see. So yeah, here's the shake machine. Here's a brand new shake machine right here. So I'm gonna bring that back in perspective just a little bit. I don't even know what a shake machine looks like because they don't work anymore. The shake machines are like dinosaurs. They're not there anymore. Comment if you know what I'm saying about that whole shake machine thing. Let me know. I'm not the only one. So you have, I guess you have your strawberry and your vanilla, and your little thing that you put the cup in. KEES shakes. New. Here's a little sign up there. New, brand new shake machine. Yeah, so yeah, shake machine and McDonald's. It works. McDonald's, listen to what I'm saying. So yeah, there's your thing. And then you just have to manipulate your tables. Everything is basically a box. Here's a box. We already did the box. How are you looking at the box? Since I'm above it, I'm going to see the back. And the back is what? Triangle, chop it off. Here's my box. Boom, there's my box. Same thing if I wanted to turn this box into a table. Here's my bottom of the table. Here's a leg right here. Here's a leg right here. And your leg comes down here. It's a glass table, so you're going to see some of the leg. And the legs right here. Boom, I got a glass table. Same thing with this door. You're gonna, if you do a chair, the chair is gonna have to go back in perspective like that. It's a short chair. Like that. Same thing with the bottom. It's gonna have to go back to the point, but that's perspective. We're not getting into that today. And we have a chair with a table, which you can drink your large shake from the shake machine that works 24 hours because this is the new shake machine from the new McDonald's that always has shake machines. Somebody's like, lay off of the shake machine, Brian. So yeah, this is 48 minutes. I don't think I might have one cut in there. So it's a 48-minute video. So wrapping it all up. You can draw. Stop saying you can't. I can't cook. I can't dance. I can't. Because you're programming your mind. You're programming your mind. So your mind is going to say, you can't do that. Stop trying. And you won't even try and you'll be left behind in the dust. So number one, stop saying you can't. Say it's a little difficult for me because I just don't have enough practice. I haven't done it enough. The more you practice, the better you will become. The better you will become. So let me just draw something real quick. I don't know what my standard drawing of drawings, my person that I always draw. This is kind of like my go-to. It's like everybody has like a go-to drawing image when you ask them to draw something. Just go to a convention and ask somebody to draw something for you. They'll pretty much draw the same thing. This is going to be too tall, but that's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's all good. And as I say, I always draw these shapes, but because I've drawn them enough, I know how to actually put a little more shape to them, but it's just the same shape over and over again. You've drawn an L enough, you've drawn a B enough, you've drawn a C enough, a D or Z enough. I think Z was always hardest. When I was young, thinking about it, Z was the hardest thing for me to do. I couldn't get it. I think I kept drawing it backwards. shoulder, the delt right here. That should be a little higher. I wasn't gonna bend that leg, the arm, but I just bent it. And of course my desk is so junky, I have to refer to my old busted eraser. So just by doing these shapes, neck, that shoulder's gonna come out here more. My delt right here. Just by doing these shapes over and over and over again, you will be able to draw a lot better. I didn't know you can say draw a lot better. You'll be able to draw, period, because you're just doing these shapes again and again and again. Same way you do letters, again and again and again. And you go back and you can say, okay, I want to muscularize him. Muscularize, if that's even a word. It is in my definition, in my directory, in my book. Yeah, so there you go. And he's like, yeah, look at me, I'm buff, baby. I go to the gym every day. Yeah, I said every day, go to the gym. He's like, yeah, check out that body. You don't have to get that smile. I'm like, yeah, got his mouth open a little bit because, you know, he drooling because y'all checking him out. He like, you know, hey. Because that's just how I roll. Brian, how could you just mess up that picture with that goofy looking face? It's my drawing. Just don't worry about stuff. Don't draw stuff. That's another thing. Don't draw stuff and, you know, oh, I got to keep this. This got to be higher. I got to keep this. This got to be. Just draw for fun sometime and just throw that thing away. Throw it away at the end of the day. Throw it away. It makes you a better drawer because you really don't care what it comes out to be. And the more you don't care, I think the better it comes out and the more lats, because you're like, yeah, boy. Because I'm just like buff like that. That bicep, which is that big, and that tricep, which is that big, because there's another muscle that comes between the two. This is going to be square. Which way is that thumb? The thumb is on the inside. Fingers. That. Chest, massive chest. And then you got the little bit of the glutes. And then you got the quads. And quads are somewhere here. Now I'm drawing crazy. I'm inking crazy. So yeah, as I'm inking, I'm going to close this one out. I'm not going to give you guys a school bell because putting that bell on there is weird. You got to get it timed just right. And then, because it'll ring before I even say, here's a school bell. So that's going to be it. So just remember to have fun. Do your shapes. All these are just basically shapes. These are shapes. We went over this. I'm not going to go over it again. Teacher mode kicks in and I have to do it again. So yeah, that's going to be it for this. Using your imagination. Now, if there are things you cannot see, look online. That was another part I should have said earlier. Look online and you can pretty much find anything you want to see. And if you can't, you got to think about it. Think about how it works, that you've seen it before. Have I seen water before? Have I seen water splashing before? Have I seen fire burning before? You know, how does the fire burn? You know, so, you know, things that are not organic. Yeah, that's not square and round and so forth and so on. But yeah, I could keep going, but I don't want to go because it's 54 minutes. It's going to be an hour for this video. Cutting it now. Hopefully you have learned something because that's about as good as I can get it when it comes to drawing shapes and people and things. It's just draw your shapes, manipulate your shapes, look at it, turn it, twist it, and you'll be able to draw. That's it. I'm calling it quits right now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a comment if you like it, especially a thumbs up. And yeah, tell me about if you had that shake machine experience. All right, later.